Exciting news about our latest efforts to advance public safety and support our law enforcement professionals. Joining me today are Lincoln Police Department Chief Teresa Ewens, our City Councilman James Michael Bowers, other City Council members Richard McGinnis and Benny Shobe and Sandra Washington, and Assistant Police Chief Brian Jackson. It feels like a long time ago now, but back in 2020, when the city received our allocation of federal CARES Act dollars, my chief of staff and I sat down with the heads of our public safety departments to talk about how best to invest these one-time resources to have a maximum and lasting benefit in our community. And at the top of the Lincoln Police Department's list was developing a new Northeast team station that met the needs of our officers and enhanced the ability to serve Northeast Lincoln residents in our growing city. At the time, LPD operated its Northeast team station out of a smaller rented facility, one that they were outgrowing and that needed updating to better serve the public and the workplace needs of our officers. And you fast forward through a couple of years of thoughtful planning and design and execution, and especially leadership from Assistant Chief Jackson, to this gathering today, where I'm so pleased to announce the grand opening of LPD's new Northeast Team Station. Let's clap for that. The Lincoln Police Department's new Northeast Team Station represents a long-term investment in public safety for our community. This state-of-the-art facility supports our officers and dispatchers and LPD's ability to serve our growing city. LPD Assistant Chief Brian Jackson has been central to these efforts from conception to completion of the new station, and I'd now like to invite him to share a few words about its benefit for our law enforcement professionals and community members. Jackson.
Thank you. Well, good morning, and it is a great morning today. Today we introduce you to a project that's years in the making, as the mayor said. This building will provide our staff with a new up-to-date facility that will serve them throughout their careers, with ample off-street parking, updated amenities, a storm-hardened shelter inside that will protect our staff and ensure continued operations regardless of the weather. And state-of-the-art technology for both our officers and our communications staff. This building is geographically located in a high-volume call area and incorporates many features advantageous for an employee of the Lincoln Police Department. This project initially started, as the mayor indicated, as an idea to exchange lease payments for the potential of other opportunities. Two capital improvements, and then this initial idea evolved into a project that initially solved two capital improvement projects. Those capital improvement projects basically provided both short-term and long-term benefits that saved the city millions of dollars. This building was not complete. It was completed without the use of new taxpayer dollars, but it was paid for with the use of asset forfeiture funds, the use of the CARES Act reimbursements, as the mayor said, as well as reappropriation dollars. It's an example of the good stewardship of community funds at all levels of government. I've had the pleasure of working through this project with a host of quality people, both internal to the department and external, all working for the interests of our community, our staff, and our department. I would like to recognize Captains McGuire, Captain Kopasa, Captain Booker, and Communications Manager Just Los for their direct involvement in the success of this project. There are many other things to do as we celebrate the official opening. Certainly, I'd like to thank the chiefs past and present who developed and/or recognized the vision and need for the department to always be part of the community we serve. To the mayor and city council present here today, and those who are not present, who invested in the future of the Lincoln Police Department and the community, providing the avenues and approvals for the purchase and funding enable us to realize this opportunity. To the men and women of the Lincoln Police Department who work diligently and professionally every day to protect our community and who can now call this building home. To the architectural design firm of Clark and Anderson, Heather Keel and her team who are present here today, Caleb Swanson with Project Control for construction oversight, BIC Construction, who did a great job remodeling the building, specifically Justin Schultz and Bailey Rangel, and for the fantastic work of their staff and the subcontractors who worked inside. Lastly, I'd like to thank the community who we serve for supporting the work we do. I'd like to welcome you all to the Northeast Team Station, a building which will serve the City of Lincoln, our officers, and the community now and well into the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief Jackson. As our key partners in local government, members of our Lincoln City Council help to ensure our public safety professionals have the resources they need to keep our communities safe. And at this time, I'd like to invite Councilmember James Michael Bowers, who represents the Northeast District, to come up and share a few words about what this new station means to our LPD members and to the folks that he serves.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm proud to be here today representing the people and families of Northeast Lincoln. The officers who serve this neighborhood are an integral part of the Northeast community. They attend our community events, our neighborhood meetings, and they bring a sense of safety and security to those in our neighborhoods. The community policing model used by Lincoln Police relies on strong relationships with the community, and investing in this new station provides a new home for Northeast Lincoln officers to help support them in their daily work of keeping our families, homes, and businesses safe and protected, and the high quality of life that we enjoy here in Northeast Lincoln. Thank you to all the officers for all that you do, and I hope that you enjoy your new home. This new team station is another example of how Lincoln is invested in public safety, and our citizens are grateful for all that the officers do and the partners who made this new home possible.
Thank you, Councilman. With this new facility, the officers and staff of LPD's Northeast team now have an even better place to which they can protect our community. And with that, we would be happy to open up for questions from the media for any of the folks who've been involved.
Yeah, I guess this station is roughly a mile south of the previous Northeast station. What does that mean for Northeast Lincoln residents and calls for service in the Northeast part of the city?
We have to realize our officers will call this home, but once they've done they're ready to start their shift, have had their lineup, they're out in the community, they're in their cars. So our response time is not dictated by a single point in the map. Our response time is based on where our officers at any given time when those calls for service come out. So Lincoln continues to grow. Our boundaries for our geographic teams have changed over time. They'll continue to change, and we believe this is well located to serve those needs. Why was it? As the mayor mentioned, the building we were in was a lease building. The initial vision, again, was to maybe trade those lease payments for other opportunities for the city and our department. And that building was starting to age. It was going to need significant repair and upkeep. And it was a good opportunity. And again, we developed this building from one project, replacing the Northeast team, into two projects. Which again saved the city some considerable amount of money, and the goal was to combine those two to the benefit of the police department, services we do our employees, but also the community, both fiscally and how the police operate within.
How do you think the renovation will help increase employee morale for the officers who are housed here? I mean, they've got to be happy that they're now in this new area.
Well, you can look at them behind us; they're happy as a clam. It is a new facility. The Lincoln Police Department has made a number of innovations, purchases, buildings. We opened the Southeast Team Station about 3 years ago, again, to give our officers a geographically centric location to operate from. New facilities are always nicer, and we believe it's a good place, and again, a good place an employee of the city or the Lincoln Police Department would like to come.
I don't know if you ever toured the previous Northeast team station, but it wasn't built for that use. And with this complete remodel, we were able to listen to the input of officers and employees to help design it and put the technology in place that helps them do their jobs efficiently and effectively and supportive to their work. So. Any other questions? Yeah.
How much did this project cost?
I know that.
Sure. Yes, sir. Millions of dollars. The building itself is approximately $2.5 billion, and the remodel is approximately $4.5. And again, the funds used to pay for that were reappropriated dollars, asset forfeiture dollars, and then the reimbursements from the CARES Act we were able to leverage to complete this project.
Yeah.
Are there any new departments or additions that are to the building that we can expect to be in this building?
I'll hand that back off to the chief, but just wanted to clarify that the CARES Act funding was $4.5 million of that budget. So a significant portion came from federal funding.
Well, we're going to give you a tour as soon as we're done talking, so you'll be able to see for yourself. It will have a number of additions that the other building does. One, it has only one floor, and it's not multiple floors. Officers have to go up and downstairs. But it has a number of features, and I guess I'd like to just show you as we walk through. It might be beneficial as you walk through and go, this was available, this wasn't available. But everything we put in is 21st century policing in mind, best practices, and we hope, again, it will serve both our department and the community for decades on end.
Okay. Great. Any other questions before we tour? Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here on this cold day as we celebrate the new opening of this grand opening of the new Northeast Team Station. And let's take a tour inside.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody.